Kia ora and welcome back once again for another reaction video. In this one, I'm going to be reacting to former DEVGRU operator, SEAL Team 6 operator, DJ Shipley. So let's jump in. Just before we carry on, I was sent this video from a friend of mine who said you should do a reaction to this one. The video is reasonably short, but it's got some really cool content in terms of what Mr. Shipley talks about. I'll put in the comments below, in the description below, the link for this video. Again, this is another one of the Mulligan Brothers video contents. They've got some great stuff clearly on their channel. So I'll look to go through that a little bit later on and try to find other military ones. I'm not sure if they just do military ones or if they do a mix. Obviously, the one that the reaction video that I did for Christian Craighead was on the Mulligan Brothers YouTube channel as well. And here's another one. So maybe they just do all military. I'll have a look at that later. But thanks for sending through this video. If anybody else has got any other suggestions or other videos, please feel free to send them through, and I'll add those to the growing list that I've got already. So with that being said, this time, let's get into it. Most powerful video for the obsessed.
The thing you're chasing, you're never going to hold in your hand, and you can do it anyway. That's the beautiful thing about it. Sacrifice it all for one more chance to play the game, knowing I can never take it with me. Like, he sacrificed more than everybody else. Like, how many people play back that thing of Kobe about everybody going out and burning it down? They came into the practice at 5 a.m. He'd already been in there since 3. He still did a practice, whooped all their asses, and stayed late anyway. Like, how does he do this? He's obsessed. Because he's not going to let himself go. He's going the entire way, and he's setting the stage, hopefully, to inspire you. How many of those guys were on his team went on to be the greatest thing ever? Most of them. Once you see it at that level, that becomes your new baseline. That standard will maintain that standard until a singular individual knocks that out. Once he beats it, everybody else kind of looks around like, well, that's possible. What if him and 6 dudes do it? Oh, shit. Now they've all adopted the same mindset, same work ethic, same output. That's why they live on forever. Yeah.
That's a great point. He's speaking about I've watched that the Redeem Team basketball video on Netflix, where Kobe Bryant is a part of that team. And hearing DJ talk about Kobe and his impact, I love basketball. Michael Jordan is, for me, the GOAT, but Kobe Bryant is right up there as well. And just the impact that he had. So I think is in that documentary, Carmelo, sorry to go off topic here, and instead of just focusing on DJ, but he's used the basketball analogy, so I'm going to, and Kobe Bryant in particular, so I'm going to just tap into that a little bit and share this experience as part of this reaction. I think I recall from that video, I'm pretty sure it's Carmelo Anthony speaking about they'd gone out to the club, they come back, they had been out late all night, out all night late, I should say. And they're coming back, and Kobe is going to the gym to train to start getting a workout in. And they're like, "Nah, stuff that. I'm going to bed." And anyway, Kobe's impact, long story short, rubbed off on the rest of those players. So then they all started getting up early, getting into the gym, getting the training with Kobe, and doing the work. So hearing DJ talk about this and just how much he elevated other people's level, whether it was playing, whether it was preparation, whether it was their mindset, attitude, and focus towards the game, is he was obsessed. So cool to hear DJ speak about Kobe, the Black Mamba, rest in peace, on his influence and impact and how it's applicable. You can apply that anywhere.
As they should. Like, we're trying to develop dynasties here. How do I get one person to affect change in all of these people? How do I make that infectious where you can't get the taste out of your mouth? You have to do better. You wake up in the morning, you're like, I feel unsatisfied. Why? I didn't do anything yesterday to make me better. Sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. What are you going to do today? Twice what I was going to do yesterday. Hammer down, man. Keep going. When you've got the motivation, keep it rolling. Keep pouring coal into it. Just keep going, keep going. I think once you get them going, it's hard to get them to stop. Set the baseline and let them go. That is my secret, is I surround myself with people that I want to be like. I implement what they do. You look at Kobe Bryant's morning routine. If everyone would just stop, and whatever it was, how ridiculous it is if everyone on the earth stopped and did that for 30 consecutive days, you'd be better. You've already seen the magic. It already works. It's like they've already set the foundation. All you got to do is just follow the plan. It's like, well, they wake up at this time, they go to bed the same time I do. Just the stuff they do in between is so much better, so much more productive. How do they do that? Well, they learned it from somebody. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's powerful, man. That's awesome to hear and speaking about that. The blueprint, the plan has already been laid. You just have to implement it. And if everybody would just implement the Mamba's mentality in terms of his process or his work ethic and just apply that for 30 days, do that for 30 days straight, he's right. You would notice a huge difference. You would notice significant change in you physically, significant change in you mentally, in your communication and your outlook on life. And I think the reason that I share that, he's just triggered it for me, is when I started training and preparing for selection to join the Special Air Service, everything changed for me. Everything. Like what how my day started, what I did with myself during the day. He spoke about productivity being so much more productive. The other little things that I did during the day made me so much more productive and slightly better, just incremental increases, little bits each and every day. They just accumulated over time. And then what I saw was my fitness level started to improve. And those sergeants, I think I mentioned in another video, those sergeants that I had in my company that were always blitzing me, I was starting to get closer to them. I don't know if I ever necessarily beat them in any of the PT sessions or the runs, probably more so the runs, but I know I got a heck of a lot closer. I was no longer near the back. I wasn't just in the middle. I was near the lead group, which was awesome, a good feeling to be. But all these things that DJ is just speaking about or touched on here within the first couple of minutes, at least in my experience, is true. If you can start applying and just switch and apply those things every day consecutively, you will see huge change. By the time I went on selection, because I had been so attuned and accustomed to doing this routine, and where I could pushing myself on the days a little bit more than I did the other day, or a little bit more than I did the other week, accumulating more kilometers than I did the week before, sometimes the day before, within the same period of time or within a quicker time. You can't help, I couldn't help, and I can see that I couldn't help but progress and get better. So what he's talking about, really resonates. This is cool.
Just do that. Surround yourself with new people. Every time you go to that big fish, small pond, stay away from that. If you're the smartest dude in the group, find a different group. If you're the strongest guy in a group, find a different group.
Sorry, I'm going to pause that there as well. I'm laughing because I've never been the smartest guy in the group, and I've never been the strongest guy in the group, never been the fittest guy in the group. So that puts a smile on my face because I've always been surrounded by people that are smarter, bigger, faster, stronger, and more capable, more technical skill, more operational skill and experience. And so, yeah, that makes me smile because I feel like, I was in a great place, surrounded by all these people that were on multiple levels above where I was, where I wanted to be. And I'm grateful for that. There's a lot of value and power in that too. You can't help but get better, and you can't help but hold yourself to a higher level of accountability, as well as being held to a higher level of accountability, because those that have learnt it, those that have gotten there, they know that it's possible. And if you want to be here and be in this pond with those players, I'm assuming the same with DEVGRU and SEAL Team 6, elite teams, if you want to be in that pond and play with that group of people, then you need to be willing to do what it takes and lift your game to get there. So, awesome words.
There's always someone stronger, always someone bigger, better, faster. Just surround yourself with those people. It'll naturally rub off, and it just elevates your game that much more. I don't care if you're playing basketball, you're playing pool, whatever you're doing. If you play with high level people, your game naturally gets better. I've got to be looking for new people to chase. Like, oh, that guy's really good at that. Show me how to do that. Actually, don't even show me. Just keep doing it and watch it for a minute. That's really what it is. To me, that's kind of the meaning of life.
You know what I love about this video as well is that there's no guns, there's none of the shooting, there's none of the room combat stuff or clearances, there's no stoppage drills. It's this guy sitting on a couch and then showing snippets of him, what looks like in his gym training or getting ready to train, whatever it is. And why I love that so much is because here's a guy, I'm assuming he's retired and not in the unit anymore, because if he was, he wouldn't be doing all these other interviews and stuff online, I'm assuming. But here's a guy that's still got the fire burning. And what I mean by that, if I use myself as an example, the fire still burns. When you've served in a special forces unit to a high level and you've gone on operations and you've been surrounded by people that are bigger, better, stronger, faster, smarter than you, there's, for me anyway, and what appears to be the case for DJ, you want to maintain and hold on to as much of those positive traits and skills that you've learnt as you can for as long as you can. And part of the job required you to be physically and mentally prepared and ready. Because at the drop of a hat, you could get a call up and there's a job that you've got to go on. Or you need to be able to respond to a situation. It may not be for the military. It may be within your home. It may be for a stranger. It may be to protect somebody, a complete stranger. It may be to protect your loved ones. It may be to render help or assistance to somebody who may have collapsed or may be having a medical incident or episode. That sort of stuff, what the Special Forces teaches you, in my opinion, and at least has instilled in me, is the need and the desire to want to stay ready, to want to be ready for whatever that may be. Now, can I anticipate and can we anticipate the things that life will throw at us? No. Excuse me. And does it mean that through physical preparation and training, through ongoing suffering, life in terms of life after service in the unit or in a unit like that, that you'll be prepared to take on what may come up? No, it doesn't. But for me, I know that by doing that and maintaining a level in that space, I'm better prepared. I'm better prepared physically and I'm better prepared mentally to be of use, to be of value, to be of assistance, support, help, however you want to frame it. As opposed to sitting back, grabbing a bag of chips, stuffing my face with those, just eating junk food, not doing any work outside of that. Don't get me wrong, people that know me, I love junk food. I'll eat that. I enjoy it. It's not a kryptonite at all. It's just I like the taste of junk food. I've got a sweet tooth. And because I know that, I know I need to work. I need to put in the exercise and train and do stuff. I do that because of the way it makes me feel physically and because I know it's good for me. So if you want to eat the things or consume things that aren't that great for you, for your body in terms of what all the nutritionists, dietitians, experts say out there, and you want to do that without putting in any work to try to counter that or to try to maintain health and well-being physically and mentally, well, then you're going to suffer the consequences. So again, rambling on, but I just enjoy hearing these people speak and then trying to distill that information, apply it to myself and what I've been learning and having reinforced by hearing the words of people like DJ here in this video. So let's crack on.
How far can I get, but how far can I get the people around me? Because they don't win, they lose confidence. Like, jump in a pool with Michael Phelps, you ain't going to win. You'll be better, though. Yeah. Sometimes you got to change your perspective just a bit.
That's a great point, and that could be hard to do. I've never, excuse me, I've never been in the pool with a world champion, multiple gold medal Olympic athlete, but I like the mindset and attitude. You jump in a pool in a swimming race with Michael Phelps, you're not going to win, but you'll be better though. You may not notice that improvement there and then, or the first 100 times that you jump in a pool if you have an opportunity to jump in a pool with somebody like a Michael Phelps. But over time, you do it enough, you will improve. And the experience that I'll share is getting up at 5, thereabouts in the morning, I think it was 5, maybe a little bit before, while still in the army preparing for selection, going to the pools in the morning with one of the NCOs or non-commissioned officers, one of the corporals in my company, in my platoon, Daniel Cook. Awesome guy. He helped me with my swimming, helped me understand some of the benefits that I could gain from swimming, with helping me control my breathing, helping me with my running, my cardiovascular, but less strain on the joints and stuff as well, and some recovery to a degree with that. And having the opportunity to do that was awesome. I went from, so he would go swim 20 lengths in the morning, which isn't much, but it was a lot for me. So he'd do 20 non-stop. When I first started, I just managed to get 3 lengths before I had to stop. I was toast. I had to stop, rest. By the end of that swimming session, so I thought, oh, I'll just stay there till he finishes his 20, and I'll get as many laps done as I can. I think I managed to get to maybe 9 or 10 on my first session. We got up, did it again the next day. The next day I swam 6 lengths non-stop. Could I have done that on the first day? Maybe, but I felt shattered. I had to stop. 6 lengths, and I had to stop again. Stop, caught my breath. I did about 13, 14 lengths on that. I think I did 13. I was on my way back. He had finished 20, so I finished that length, hopped out. When got ready, we went back to barracks to show up for work. Then the third day, we got up, did it again. I did 9 lengths on that. So I went 3, 6, 9. This was consecutive days. Now, that may not seem like much to people out there watching this video, especially if you're a good swimmer, or maybe even if you're not a good swimmer. But for me, these were huge strides in the right direction. And to my point earlier about noticing that improvement when you turn up every day and doing what he mentioned about Kobe Bryant, just people would show up and apply that consistently. Just do it for 30 days, you'll notice the changes. You do that for years, months, and then years, you'll notice a huge compounding effect. So fast forwarding, it took me maybe about a week, maybe less than a week, maybe day 5, day 6, because the next time after 9, I did 14, and then I pushed and then did 20. So by about day 5, day 6, I did 20 laps in the pool non-stop. So get there, touch. I couldn't do the dolphin, or what's it called? The spin, the tumble turn. I couldn't do the tumble turn. So I'd get there, touch, turn around, start swimming straight back again. And then built up far beyond that. Being able to swim 100 lengths continuous, non-stop. No record-breaking speed, but if I go back to where I started, 3 laps, then 6, then 9, then 14, then 20, those are huge for me. So he's bang on. You will get better, though, if you want it, if you keep turning up each day.
You have to surround yourself with people that want to be on the same path you are. Mm-hmm. If they're ahead of the path, it's even that much better. Now you have someone to follow. You see the blueprint out in front of you. If you don't have anyone to chase, you're just the trendsetter. But a lot of times, if we're being honest, it's just flying blind. You don't have anything to reference off of. Like, I'm the strongest dude in my gym. You're the only guy in this gym. And a lot of it, if you've never seen how far the human body or the human potential can actually go, you have no idea. You have no idea what your true capabilities. You only know what you've achieved so far. Mm. Can I pick that up? Like, I have no idea. I think I can. Well, let's see. Steady pressure. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. If not, you become stagnant. You become really comfortable, and good is good enough. This is good enough, man. This is fun. Surround yourself with people that you want to be like, that are positive role models, that help you up the ladder. Very few times have I ever seen people at a high level who stand on top of the ladder with their foot and won't let you come up another rung. I've only seen mentors in my life that are always doing this. They're always trying to pull you up, and the really good ones want you to be better than they were. It's like, all I've got to do is really show up and just put out. Just try.
I love what he shared there about those that are above you. Some sort of frog in my throat today. But I love what he's speaking about there, and those that are above you, those that are on levels above you. It's great to see and hear that he's only ever witnessed and come across those people that are reaching down to put their hand down, to help you get to where they are. And what he shared about the really good ones want you to be even better than they are or than they were. And I think, you apply that, or at least for me, I think about that in the context of being a father as one example, one context. I want my children, all of them, the boys and the girls and the boys, to be better than I was, than I am, and they are. And I know their mum wants them to be even better than she is as well. Do I think that's possible for them to surpass their mum? For me personally, no. But I know my wife wants them to excel far beyond anything that she's done, to push their limits, to know that their potential and their ability is limited by only what they think up here. And so I love that about my wife's approach and attitude. I want that for my children. I think my children are already better than me, which is great. I think, though, that they still have things to learn, whereby my wife and I, in partnership, can help them learn that, and that they can also learn through the other people, the other good people that they'll come across in their life. And our children have met a number of wonderful, wonderful people so far in their short lives. So, yeah, I just enjoy what DJ is sharing here, and wanting people to be better than you, helping people, observing, being observant, and taking in what you're seeing and trying to apply that. Made me laugh about, I'm the strongest guy in my gym. Bro, you're the only dude in your gym. So if you have no gauge or anything to measure yourself against, you're going along thinking, you're up here, when realistically, if you were put in amongst other people outside of your group, or within another group, a high performing group, you may find that you are way down the bottom of that ladder or of that rung. So yeah, let's carry on.
Try as hard as I can. At the end of the day, if you've exhausted all the resources, and I can look at myself in the mirror and go, it's not for lack of effort. I tried. You are going to mess up. You are going to fail. You're going to make stupid errors. Everybody does. Well, how do you come back from it? Just try not to make the same ones again. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it, is most of the people that are at a super high level don't realize they're at a high level until it's over.
Great advice. Everybody's going to stuff up. How do you not stuff up again? Just try to learn from that mistake and try not to make the same mistakes again. Steady pressure. Keep applying, keep building, keep going. The results are going to come. This guy, actually, just as I look at him, this is probably what I think a lot of people probably have in their head that aren't, or that have never served in a Special Forces unit. They would look at this guy, and like I have said in other videos, there are exceptions to the rule. Like, I've worked with some guys that are some frickin' units, and you look at them and you go, yep, that guy's Special Forces. Then they'll look at me, or me and my colleagues, and go, nah, he can't be SAS, or he can't be ex Special Air Service. So it's interesting. The vast majority are more we don't look like we're in the unit, or that we've been in the unit. Whereas I think the common perception is guys that are Special Forces or ex-Special Forces look like this guy. So he definitely fits that mold.
They get you to sacrifice. They get you to drop everything else like it doesn't matter, because you love that organization so much.
Mm.
You will spend the entire time of your career chasing something that never exists. And about the halfway mark, around the 10-year mark, you realize the perfection you're chasing, you're never going to find. You spend the next 10 years accepting it. I don't care. I'm never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be, there's no number one seed at this team. There's no starting quarterback role in this team. There just isn't. We're all equal here. And all I really want to do is play the game again. I just want to play the game again tomorrow.
I love that comment. They're all equal. You're all leaders within the SF unit. Yep, you've got hierarchy. You've got patrol commanders. You've got 2 ICs. You've got troop commanders, squadron commanders, etc. You've got all of that. There's a hierarchy. There's a structure. There needs to be. But what I love about it and what I learnt is that everybody in those roles, no matter your leaders, you're employed to do the role. Like, I'm employed to be the scout. They're going to let me do my job, be the scout. They're going to let me, if we need to get from point A to point B, then that's my job to navigate, get us there as safely and as tactically correct, if that's the right terming, or as tactically sound, I should say, as possible, so that we can get there hopefully as reasonably fresh as we can. If my job is to be the medic for the patrol, then that's my job. You do the extra study, you make sure that you got all your drugs, you got all your medications, you've got your skills and your procedures down pat, you've got anything that you need to have in reserve ready to go, and or you speak with your team if there's equipment that you specifically need but you can't quite fit it into your gear, so that you make sure that you've got it. You make sure your team's got their own individual first aid kits, so they're not delving into the big trauma pack that you've got. Everybody's got their own immediate supply of trauma equipment, tourniquet, bandages, quick clot, all that sort of stuff if you've got that. And you've got the other bits and pieces. You've got the fluids, you've got the other medication, the morphines and things like that if you need it. Everybody else will carry some sort of individual pieces of those as well. But if that's your job, then you make sure that you're squared away for that. If you're the sniper for the team, then you're squared away. If you're the communications person, if you're the explosives person, if you're the driver, if you're whatever your role is within the team, you're the patrol commander, you're overseeing all of that. They're not in your face. They're letting you lead where you stand. They're letting you lead from where you are and enabling you to do your job. And most importantly, they're trusting you to do your job because you've earned it. So, yeah, I love what he's speaking about here. There is no number one. There is no quarterback. Like, you're all leaders. And at different times, you will take the lead. So, patrol commander, sergeant typically may end up being a trooper, leading a particular aspect. So if the trooper is the scout, he's the leader for that patrol, for that team at that time. He's the eyes and ears. He's at the front. And he's doing the nav, doing the check nav, doing all that sort of stuff that you need to do, while the patrol commander's still overseeing it all. That's the person with this incredible amount of experience that can help put things back together if things start getting a little bit shaky. But typically within those units, and you got people that are that driven, that are that skilled and that experienced, things run pretty smooth, and hence the high degree and level of trust and responsibility given and empowered to people within those units.
Play the game again tomorrow. And that's the thing that's beautiful about it, is once you realize you're never going to catch it, the thing you're chasing, you're never going to hold in your hand, and you can do it anyway. That's the beautiful thing about it. Sacrifice it all for one more chance to play the game, knowing I can never take it with me. It's a consistency. Like, am I better than I was the day before? Yeah, because naturally I have more experience. I had more experience today than I did yesterday. Have I been living in this vessel for one day longer? Yeah, I naturally have more experience. So did I work out today? Yep. Did I do one extra rep? Mm-hmm. Did I do more weight than I did last week? Yeah, 3 pounds. Not a big jump, just enough. Just enough to keep myself on track. Am I still pushing forward? Am I still applying steady pressure every single day? Yeah, I haven't let myself go. You haven't missed a workout? Nope. You haven't missed 20-minute walk? Nope. Why? Because I said I wouldn't. It doesn't have to be this. I don't have to climb Mount Everest. I just need to wake up every single day with a reason to swing my feet out of bed and pop up quick. Because I want to be better than I was yesterday. Because the people that I support deserve it. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm an imperfect creature. The only difference between me and you is I'm actively trying to get better. A lot of people just want to sit there like, it's good enough. I said the same thing, dude, until you realize good enough isn't good enough.
So glad he said that. A lot of people go, good enough. Yeah, that's enough. And I can tell you now, the members within the unit, at least the ones that I served with, good enough, just enough, was never good enough, was never just enough. And so if you're wanting to go and serve in those units, if you're wanting to serve in DEVGRU, if you're wanting to serve in the Navy SEALs, if you're wanting to serve in the SAS, if you're wanting to serve in any high-performing Special Forces unit, you need to understand that going in with that mindset or attitude, just enough is good enough, or good enough is just enough, however you want to articulate that, that's the wrong attitude to have, and you're going to struggle in a unit like this or in a unit like the SAS. So get that squared away for what it is, why you're going there in the first place. And I love what he spoke about, one more chance to play the game, and you learn to sacrifice. Yeah, you are willing to sacrifice it all, to lay down your life for your mates, to invest everything that you have for the chance to be part of the team, for the chance to deploy on operations, for the chance to play the game, as DJ mentioned it, to play the game again one more time. And if that's your last time, you want to go out giving everything, not giving just enough, not sitting back and going just enough is good enough. You want to go in giving everything that you can to the best of your ability, and knowing that your teammates trust you. That's critical. We'll get back to this guy.
You can always be better. There's a lot of room on the table, man. Let's hammer down. Set the example. How you want to get better at anything? Do it 10 minutes every day, 365 days a year.
Mm.
At the end of that year, you'll be better than 80% of the population that does that one thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, that's the truth. It does not take an exuberant amount of time or attention. It just takes steady pressure. And a lot of times, instead of doing it, you just want to scroll through IG for an extra 10 months. Well, you don't have to. You could learn a new skill. You could polish on the existing skill. You could have a better conversation with your kids, your wife, your grandmother, your mother, whatever. A lot of people just don't want to do it. It sounds too hard. It's like, I don't have the time for that.
Hearing him speak about that, I'm reminded of a book that I'm still reading at the moment called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and speaks about just striving to get 1% better every day. It's been awesome. It's a good book, but what he's touching on here makes a lot of sense to me. It reinforces some of the stuff that I've been reading, stuff that I've learned on reflection over time and looking back and listening to other people with wisdom just like this guy has speak about their experiences and how to get better. 10 minutes every day doing that one thing. If that's all you did, just 10 minutes every day, you're going to get better. You may not be that day, may not be that week, but the compound effect of that, I think he said, do whatever that thing is, 10 minutes every day for a year, 100% you are going to be night and day difference from where you were, where you started, to where you will be in 12 months' time. So I'm taking away a lot from here because there's a few things that I've got in the back of my mind that I need to start applying the 10 minutes a day to, things that I'm wanting to do. And I do have 10 minutes in the day to be able to do those things. I definitely have time for the training, so I always make time for that, and that's usually an hour and a half to 2 hours of the day. But there's other times that I've got that I could be improving on some other things as well. So, yeah, thanks, DJ. Great advice. That's it. Not much longer to go on this video.
You don't have the time for that? You're not making the time for that. Same people that, they want to lose weight, but they don't want to diet. They'll go through 40 years of being overweight, and then all of a sudden you see them, and you're like, what happened to you? And you're like, yeah, I finally did this diet, and I finally just stuck with it. And he's like, come to think of it, I never really tried before. It takes what it takes. You just didn't think you'd be able to do it, so you just stopped trying. Do a 20-minute walk every night after dinner. Do it for a week. Do it for 2 weeks. Then do it for a month. I know you feel better off the walk. I know you do. Like, we can get through this thing together. But not if you're not willing to help yourself. If you're going to lay down in the fetal position and cry to me about how hard your life is, it's not going to work. You've got to be open, honest, and we have to be willing to put in some work. I'm not going to make it impossible, but got to make it work. It's one thing to be able to crush everybody. It's one thing to be able to control every situation physically. It's another to be able to control it and not let them know you can control it. I can sit back and I can let you do or say whatever you want to, and I'm not going to perceive it positively or negatively. I know that I can control the outcome of this whenever I want to. That's a superpower. I'm going to hide in the white noise and I'll just sit here, and then whenever I want to, I'll change it. I wish I would have had that optic back then. I wish I would have had the optic to sit back and go, I don't need to jump up. I don't need to shout. I don't need to flex. I don't need to do any of this. I don't need to do that at all. Got to have a dial, though. It's very hard to develop.
Looks like that's the end of that video. Awesome insights again. Shout out to my mate who directed me, sent me the link for this video. I can see why you sent it. I've still talked well over the more than double the amount of time that this video actually goes for, but again, hopefully it's helpful. I feel like I'm rambling and waffling, but just trying to disseminate the information that I'm taking away from as this guy and other people are speaking from the selection courses, and then providing my take and some of my experience in the hope that it helps resonate with somebody else or other people, and that you can take that and apply it to your own situation, add your own commentary to it, add your own perspective and take, and more importantly, take it away and apply it for whatever it is that you may be wanting or needing to do. So I hope it helps. I just really am enjoying going through these videos, having a watch of them and reacting to them, because I've not sat down and watched videos like these, not as often as what I'm doing now. I've done them in the past, but just usually if I've been bored or just wanting to watch something, like I'm taking some time for me to just relax. I'm like, oh, hey, what's this? Click on that. Nah, I'm a bit bored of that now. Or been on this Harry Mack bit of a rabbit hole watching his videos. He's an online rapper. Like, there's lots of stuff that I watch. I'll just watch music clips, watch funny things that are happening, gym fails, whatever videos that happen on YouTube. I'm no different to anybody else in terms of wanting to find something just to be entertained or for education purposes, or just because I'm mesmerized by how skilled somebody is at what they do, like Harry Mack or Vin Jiang. He's a communications expert, born in Australia, Chinese guy or Asian guy, half either Chinese or Vietnamese or a bit of a mix, but he's got awesome content too. Watching bits and pieces of other podcasts. It's great to have a diverse outlook on things and not just be so focused in and tunnel visioned in on one thing. But I have to say, for me, these reaction videos and starting or doing these reaction videos with ex-Special Forces operators, not sitting down and interviewing them, but hearing their perspective and their words. And yes, I know I'm pausing it frequently, probably more than what people would like, but it's because the things that they're sharing just jump out at me, and they have such power and insight. And oftentimes, like is the case here, there's further context that would be, for me, would be great to hear. So I figure, well, you know what, this is awesome. I'm gonna provide some context based on my experience, and if it helps, it helps. That's awesome. If it doesn't, then cool. Those people will just scroll on by and find somewhere else to go. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying it. It's helping me with my trying to communicate better, especially being on a camera. And yeah, I'm loving the process. I'm learning. I feel like I'm growing as I go, as I try to do these things. Learning how to be better with the technology and editing things. There's skills that, yeah, it's great to be applying that and taking action to try to be better, to try to be 1% better than I was yesterday. So wherever you are, hope you can take away some of the great advice and insights from Mr. DJ Shipley, former DEVGRU operator, SEAL Team 6 operator. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for where you can go watch this video uninterrupted without my rambling in the video. Wherever you are, take care, keep hammering, hammer down like DJ says, steady pressure, and try to get better, 1% better every day. Until the next video, see you next time.